You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fall down, know when to walk away, know when to run. You better count your blessings while you're sitting there interviewing Kanye. Don't you ever regret it, homie. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fall down. And boy, it sort of seems like Nori, it seems like your boy folded. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Marwan here at Mind Over Matter TV. Coming at you one more again, my friend. How is everybody doing? When you checking this video, something's very interesting going on in the world. Something very interesting is happening. People changing their minds, going back on their word, people apologizing, people regretting things. Oh, wow. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have to talk about this Kanye West thing and drink champs. First of all, I want to say here at the beginning, as far as you and I know, Kanye and Nori have spoken about it and they planned it all and they saw all this coming. As far, who knows, in the background, Nori could have called Kanye and say, hey, look, man, I'm about to start apologizing on your ass real quick. So that's one thing. We don't know what's really going on in the background. Maybe Kanye and Nori knew all this would happen and they knew, or maybe not. I'm going to make this video as if sort of disappointed. This video is basically about whether or not it's if Kanye is disappointed. Because at some point in the interview with Nori, Kanye asked Nori, "Are you able to control this interview? Are you in control of this interview?" And then Nori starts apologizing, y'all, singing. Just reminds you that pressure busts pipes. The same pressure that creates a diamond, I guess, in Kanye, meaning he's going to stay sharp. He's going to stay bright. He's going to stick with his plan to say whatever he's got to say because he can't be controlled. That's the thing. Nori is not on his own channel. Nori doesn't own that whole channel. Revolt, YouTube. Nori doesn't own these things. This is why Kanye West bought a social media platform called Parler. I don't know much about Parler other than it's a platform where people can pretty much share their opinions on things without getting kicked off like Zuckerberg and Facebook and Twitter. But look, y'all, this dude, Noriega, man, oh, wow. So weird. It's like he's on an apology tour. He's going to Breakfast Club. He's going to Hot 97. What? Where else is he going to go? Is he going to go on CNN? Which is so interesting because he was part of a group called CNN. I think they even had an album called The War Report. And if Noriega can't see that this is some sort of a war, you're supposed to report on the war. But wow, now they got Noriega apologizing, basically on his knees asking for forgiveness. They got Noriega out here saying it's not just an apology. He didn't just say my bad. He didn't just say any of that. Noriega said he failed as a black man by having Kanye West on the show. What the hell does that mean? He said he failed as a human being by having Kanye on the show, as if Kanye is anti-human, as if Kanye is anti-black. He said he failed as a man, but he said it was a success as a journalist, which he is not, because he was able to bring Kanye on. The bottom line is, if you look at that interview, which has now been deleted off of YouTube and off of Drink Champs channel, I don't even think Noriega was in control of that interview, y'all. What y'all think? Noriega was, first of all, like drunk, just straight drinking, right? He's a drink champ. He ain't no journalist. He's not no strong black man. He's a drink champ. He's not no strong human being. He's a drink champ. He's not no journalist. He's a drink champ. He's a rapper. And he caved under pressure, y'all. You saw it with your own eyes. He caved under pressure. He said he failed as a black man by having Kanye on there. How? Please, in the comments, can you tell me how? First of all, another thing, y'all, I gotta let you know. This is not about Kanye the person. Kanye could be an asshole for real. Kanye could have, I don't know, made promises to people that he broke. Kanye could have at some point backstabbed or changed his mind and made people feel small. Kanye could have a jacked up, you know, background, so I'm not going to comment about any of that. You see people upset at Kanye, and let them be upset. It's their right for free speech to be upset, right? Let them be upset. It's not our business. The problem comes when they come down on you, when they upset at you, when they delete you, they take away your money because of your opinion. But this is supposed to be a guy that Kanye sort of trusted, according to Noriega. He said Kanye used to call me and he actually used to sit there and listen to my opinions, Noriega said. So he felt like he could control the interview, Noriega said. And he did not want to upset Kanye. He didn't interrupt Kanye. So maybe Kanye's happy about that. I don't know. They've got the interview. That interview can go up on Parler. Easy. But what kind of world is this where you got banks taking their money, closing accounts, running you out of the bank? And here you go, a friend. Are you a friend, Noriega? Friends don't let friends interview drunk. I don't know if Kanye was drunk in that interview at all either. But the bottom line is, yeah, it's an interview. It's freedom of speech, but maybe somebody was offended by his speech. Which part of the speech? I don't know. Sometimes Kanye's dropping some jewels, gems, and other times Kanye seems like he's sort of off. He would go into some other subject and then come back to this, and he would go into some other subject. Then be like, yeah, I'll talk about that later. But then over here, he's not really controlling himself, right? He can't be controlled outside, but there is a way he can present the same information in a controlled manner, XYZ. But what do you got to say, Kimberly? What's up, Princess Black? Nori wanted views. That's why he had Kanye on. After the show, he got backlash from the public and George Floyd's family, most likely. Whoever funds the show told Nori to apologize. Told Nori to apologize. I don't know if people told Nori. I really don't know. Nori, I mean, it seems like Nori just decided, you know what? I'm getting all this pressure. I mean, he must have been told to take it down. He must have been told to take it down by several different people. And we're not dealing with, a Malcolm X here. We're not dealing with the guy who owns his own stuff in Noriega. We're dealing with a guy who's probably got a family, he's probably got kids, Probably got a reputation and an image and a platform that he wants to uphold, right? This is so interesting, y'all. Did Noriega take the side of his enemies? Because like I said, this is sort of a war. Noriega was in a rap group called CNN, but now we're looking at him like he's fake news. Now we're looking at Nori like he is fake news. Like the idea of his friendship with Kanye seems to be like fake news. You don't do this to a friend. Now I'm thinking all platforms are dying for the opportunity to set up Kanye because they know he's gonna speak, speak, speak. At this point, Noriega, when Kanye gets a microphone and talking, he's gonna keep on going, keep on going. Many channels probably biting at the bit for the opportunity to put Kanye in this seat, let him talk a little talk, rack up the views, only to turn around and sort of denounce Kanye like Obama denounced Farrakhan. It's almost like he's denouncing Kanye like Obama denounced his 25-year-long pastor. If you got a dude who's running for president disowning, denouncing his own pastor of a quarter of a century, of course, somebody like Noriega would run around and have to apologize for, I guess, dirty by interviewing Kanye West as if Kanye's an alien or anti black. He said he failed as a black man. The only time you say you failed as a black man is if you succumb to the pressures of a white man. or if you go against your code, your racial code. That's when you say you failed as a black man. You didn't stand up and defend black people. Maybe he felt like he had to do that against his friend. I don't know what's going on, y'all. All I know is you got to know when to hold him. You got to know when to fold him. You got to know when to walk away. And you got to know when to run. And there's some people, y'all, that they don't even think about it. They just run. It's some people, y'all, they don't think about it. They just fold them. You know what I mean? They don't think because they already know how to behave. And misbehaving is only going to go but so far. So he got the views. That's why part of me is thinking this was all sort of a setup. He got the views. He got his success as a journalist, but it wasn't even an interview. But this is the part I'm wondering, I'm curious, like what the fuck did he mean? He failed as a black man and as a human being. I don't understand that, y'all. You're gonna have to help me in the comments. How the hell did he fail as a black man by interviewing Kanye West? Or did he fail as a black man by not interrupting Kanye West? That's failing. How did he fail as a human being, y'all? Failing as a human being, what does that mean? That means you brought on someone who's a known rapist of black people, a known racist, and you actually wanted to sit there and listen. You fail as a black person when you honor the words and the opinions of a racist KKK person. You honor them to the point of bringing them in your home and giving them a platform. That's when you fail as a black person. When you bring a racist on, a bold racist, and you have this bold racist on your platform, freely talking about whatever, and you're not interrupted. That's when you say, I failed as a black man. You failed as a human by interviewing Kanye West? Oh, wow. Telling you, man, the whole idea of licking boots, the whole idea of selling out, siding with your enemy, licking boots, apologizing. That's the sign of, I mean, that's some serious compromising. That's some serious selling out of a friend, which is who Kanye West was. That's what I thought Kanye West was. But y'all tell me what you think in the comments, how you feel about this whole thing surrounding freedom of speech. But as you know, even in the States, speech, not all speech is free, y'all. And what comes to mind are certain cases where your speech wasn't free and you had to go to jail. Matter of fact, cases like what? When you're in a movie theater and there's people there waiting to watch a movie theater, you don't get free speech to yell bomb or yell something crazy that'll drive people nuts. If you're on an airplane, free speech, yeah, but it's limited. You can't on an airplane say, bomb, I'm gonna blow this thing up. No, you can't do that because people are already afraid or worried about plane jacking and taking over the plane and bombs. And so for you to say, hey, fire, fire in a theater, people get injured trying to run out and there's no fire. No, you're not free to just say anything at all here. And when you're dealing with your rights, ladies and gentlemen, your right, search and seizure and all that, is always limited. It's not 100% guarantee that you can get those rights all the time. They're going to be looking at other interests, you know. So if you yell fire in a theater, they're going to be like, hold up, what's more important? This individual's right to yell whatever he wants to yell, whenever he wants to yell it? What's more important? This person's right to yell fire in a theater, or this whole crowd of people watching a movie, they have a right to sit there and enjoy the movie and not be harassed, not be scared out of their minds by someone saying there's a fire. You know, so freedoms were never 100% guaranteed. But these type of freedom, this type of talking that Kanye West is doing on different levels, though, he's speaking about certain things in the industry, upsetting certain powers that be, right? And that's what's important. You know, it's not so much important what little people think. You know, so for example, how many times have you all been involved in standing your ground? How many times have any of you been involved in 10 toes down, going against what your culture's saying, going against your religion saying, going against what your pastor, going against what the whole society is saying, following your gut and your belief and your moral code, your faith, right? Have you ever done that on your level, like on a lower level? Has there ever been a moment where you chose not to do what they do? Where you chose not to say what they say? Where you chose against all type of advice people giving you? This dude Nori was given advice. Don't bring him on the channel. And it was a powerful thing. It was a crucial thing that he went ahead and brought him on anyway. There were people advising Noriega, don't bring that dude on your show. And he did it anyway. Maybe because, I don't know, he thought Kanye wasn't going to do his platform the way he does every other platform. Sitting there drinking, Nori. I mean, you ain't really got no control over yourself. You weren't really asking any sharp, solid, hard-hitting questions at all. You weren't hitting them with no questions. It wasn't an interview. The way it came off, and this is probably what happened with Noriega's bosses. Noriega's boss and whoever he's scared of, they probably made Noriega look at that video again, and they probably showed and proved to him that he was sort of acting like a fanboy and not a journalist. They probably told Noriega, "Look at this video, Nori. We don't hire you. We don't have you interviewing people just to sit there and let them talk. Interview the man for Christ's sake. You're sitting there with Yeezy looking like a fucking fanboy, letting him say whatever he want. We're beginning to think you wanted the." So he was scared, y'all. His bosses. Noriega's bosses got it in his mind thinking that, oh no, my bosses feel like I intentionally brought Kanye on here and I intentionally said nothing and I intentionally let him speak whatever he wanted. So, so Noriega has to understand and keep the interests of his followers, watchers of the show, and his bosses. All of that might be more important than his own individual interest to have Kanye on the show. But is he a friend of Kanye? He spoke about being a regretful black man, a regretful human being, but he never said he succeeded as a friend or failed as a he succeeded as a friend by having him on the show, and now you're stabbing your friend in the back by saying, oops, can I run that back? Oops, I ain't really trying to have, I regret that, y'all. Oops, I'm so sorry I brought him on my channel. I don't know what I was thinking. Oops, maybe I had one too many Douce or whatever those drinks was because I just let that nigga talk. I don't know what it was. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Illmatic what's really happening right here, right now. Right? Drink champs. You're supposed to be having people on, asking questions, letting people talk, share their opinion. But Kanye West gets kicked off. Kanye West allegedly being the richest black man in American history. You know, it ain't Jay-Z, it's Kanye West, the richest black man in USA history, apparently. That's a big deal, but they're trying to cut his voice down. Are there really friends when it comes to money? Yeah, and yeah, not in the industry, definitely not. You would hope so. We would hope so, but yeah, no. People for some people their moral code is do what makes you green. Do what brings you green. Do what brings you money no matter what. Don't have any moral codes. Don't have any code of conduct. Don't have any sort of street code. Nothing. Don't have any morals. Some people just do whatever can bring them money in the moment. And some people, they're all about their name. Some people they're all about their image and their person and their personhood and their ability to speak freely in the United States. And it seems like where Kanye is at, you know? Kanye is in Hollywood. Kanye is in Hollywood. He's married into the Kardashian ass family. And my thing is this. When you're in that type of a situation, man, oh Lord, it's all about the go along, get along gang. It's all about say what's acceptable, even if you see something negative. Hollywood is all about shh, don't you call nobody out. Don't you say nothing about Harvey Weinstein. You just might get a good movie role if you keep quiet. Yeah, he's sort of molesting and damn near raping women who just want a gig, just want an acting role in a movie. But you better not say nothing. Matter of fact, call him God. You know, praise him, right? Because he's bringing all of them money. They put to the side his behavior for a long time. They put to the side all the women he violated. Even some of the women he violated put themselves to the side. They didn't want to say nothing because initially it was all about going out there and getting money and taking whatever you got to take along the way. Take that, take that. And it seems what like Kanye is not going to just take that. Kanye's not just going to sit back and allow people to talk about him any old way. Kanye, it seems like Kanye is going to express himself, bottom line. And some people believe that's the Chicago way. Some people believe that's straight Chicago style. I don't know. I'm not from there. It is what it is. You know? But look at what happened. LeBron. LeBron didn't even deal with any of this stuff. LeBron had his barbershop. Apparently, he had Kanye on the barbershop too. Interviewing. Kanye let it out. Whatever people don't like, he said it. And LeBron didn't even come out and talk about it. LeBron didn't mention anything about it. It just, the news came out that that show, the barbershop or whatever LeBron is doing, they had to nix that Kanye West interview. That's how LeBron James handles it. The LeBron James who says, I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me. I'm him. That's what LeBron said. I don't care what nobody think about me. I'm him. Now, LeBron could have made a whole stink about it. The amount of money LeBron and Ye got, LeBron could have been like, "Oh, what? You're not gonna bring? You're gonna make me take down that video of Kanye? All right, I'm done. I'm done with this barbershop crap. I'm done. I'm gonna take me and mine, and do the barbershop somewhere else." Same with Noriega. Would have been interesting if Noriega said, "You know what? Fuck that. You know, I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not gonna fold under pressure. I'm not going to fold. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to go on Breakfast Club and explain to small minded pieces of shit like Charlemagne. You know, you got Noriega having to stoop so low and apologize and explain your ass to something like Charlemagne. Can y'all imagine that? Then he had to go over to Hot 97, sit up there and explain himself to something like Rosenberg, who's like, yeah, man, I don't know what you were thinking. Shut the fuck up, Rosenberg, and your little lady friend on the show, Laura. I don't know. I don't listen to any of that bullshit mainstream radio. And if I do listen to some songs on that station, I never listen to the commercials, and I never listen to any of those idiots talking. I can't stand Charlemagne talking. I can't stand DJ Envy talking. Yeezy or Angela Yee. I can't stand Ebro talking. Rosenberg talking. I can't stand these people. They are definitely the easy types to control. They are definitely straight up bootlickers. And here Nori finds himself having to lick boots himself after a career of doing gangster rap, after a career of being known as CNN to the streets, but now he's fake news. And hip hop is supposed to be the genre of a people who speak with their chest, speak with their chest. They speak against the powers that be. And here we go. Kanye sort of in a spook who sat by the door kind of position. And people are going on an apology tour because they felt like a failure as a black man for interviewing Kanye, which is the dumbest. It tells me he doesn't know what black or man means. That tells when Noriega says something like "I failed as a black man," that tells me he doesn't know what black means. He doesn't know what man means. I mean, you can bring up the fact that he's from the Dominican Republic all you want. You could talk about it. Tariq might call him a tether. That word that Tariq used might call him Noriega a tether. You can get into that if you want. The fact that he's Dominican, but I don't think that that's as important. But some people may note that. But he said he's a failure as a black man for having his friend. You know. But I guess that's just how dudes from Queens roll. That's just how dudes from Queens roll. He's almost embarrassed by Kanye West. He's embarrassed to call him a friend. He's embarrassed to bring him on his show. He was embarrassed as a black man. He said he felt like a failure as a human being. I don't get it. The fact that y'all don't just apologize. First of all, you apologizing, which is some soft sucker millennial shit. You apologizing. But that wasn't enough for you, dude. You had to go a couple steps further, man. You said you were a failure as a black man, a whole black man. and a father and a husband, probably. You said you were a failure as a human being for interviewing someone you called your friend. A failure as a human being? Damn. Oh, but you gave yourself credit for being a good journalist, but no, no good journalist. We can't even say you were a success as a journalist because you're taking it down. That's why we need people who are, not just conscientious, but people who have strong foundation, a strong backbone. Noriega over here giving like a broke back apology. you know, Noriega's out here giving a broke back apology. No backbone. I regret interviewing that dude. I regret it. I feel like I am anti-black man because I interviewed Kanye. Oh, I gotta take it back. If I could take it back, I would. If I could, you know, sage the whole studio, I would. This is dangerous, y'all. The things people do for money. You see they out here getting a BBL. You see people like Cardi B out here, right? Almost ready to die, at the brink of death. Just getting her ass injections the way it's supposed to be injected like that. She was almost dead going through that process. So you got people selling out to that degree. Of course, it was probably easy for Noriega to be like, oh, all I got to do is apologize to these niggas. All right. Because he's got a good number of black people already mad at Kanye. He took a risk, he took a chance, and his chance and the side that he sided with was with the enemy, as Riza Islam said. He sided with that, and there are masses of black folks siding with the enemy. All right? You got a lot of people here joining a lynch mob. Like, picture it in your head, right? YouTube, TMZ, Kardashians wanting to lynch Kanye West. Back, like, think of slavery days. Yeah, I know what Kanye West said about slavery. We're not even talking about that right now. Think about those days. You would have the Kardashians and whoever authority they paid walking Kanye down, right? The dirt road going towards whatever. But you also, the way black folks is acting, you have black folks, other slaves, joining the lynch mob, saying, lynch him, we're tired of him too. And that gives them extra comfort because they're in the presence of white people. Not just the presence, they're in the acceptance of people in power. It's all about how black folks act when they are under the white gaze, the white criticism, the white and the power, the elite gaze. What do? Do you apologize when they're looking at you? Do you apologize? Do you go further than apologize and say, hey, I don't just apologize, niggas? Because that's already a sign of a sucker. You up here apologizing for something you intended to do. You ain't just apologize, nigga. You said you failed as a human being. So I hope that for the rest of your life, this haunts you, Noriega. I hope because you've shown some serious sellout colors. Sell out as a journalist, sell out as a black, sell out as a man, sell out as a human being, sell out as a friend. You've proven yourself to be a sellout, even spiritually speaking, because a spiritual person, yeah, they would let Kanye if they're a friend. Go ahead and talk, nigga. But we are in a very, very slippery slope kind of thing. I mean, you even got punk ass Obama coming out. Obama came out and said, hey, listen, this whole cancel culture thing, we got to quit this cancel culture thing because you don't want people feeling like they're walking around on eggshells, scared to speak, scared to be honest, scared to be truthful. You don't want people out here, right? Cancel culture. That's all liberal ting. That's all Democrat. That's all Democrat stuff. And who's the backbone of the Democrat Party? Black women. So you want to keep an eye on how black women are dealing with Kanye. Because black women are known as the backbone of the Democrat Party. And whatever agenda the Democrat Party has. Let's say the Democrat Party has an agenda which is like the the trans agenda. All right. Let's say Democrats have a trans agenda, right? All right. Who are they going to go to first to manifest their agenda? Well, it's going to be the black woman, right? And what evidence do I have of that? Well, you've got Black Lives Matter. You've got the black women in charge of Black Lives Matter collecting all this loot based off of the actual black death, taking that loot and using that loot to build up all different types of property and opportunities for trans people. That's what Black Lives Matter is all about. To eliminate the black heterosexual male from the home, just as part of their mission statement, and replace it with what they call a combined family or whatever, or a not so nuclear traditional. And then that's when you're gonna get a gang of women trying to raise one boy. But anyway, I'm going off topic. It's kind of irked me a little bit. Y'all never know who your friends really are when money hangs in the balance. Just like individuals never know how strong their moral code is until they are offered money to go the other way, right? Some people say when Jesus was up there on the mount, some people actually say Jesus was tempted, right? And then you got others who would say, no, Jesus was never actually tempted, because in order to be tempted, part of you has to be thinking, yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. It could be 5% of you. But I don't think Jesus was ever tempted. I don't think Jesus took the devil's offers more than a grain of salt. But you've got a lot of people today where it's normal, man. You don't even have to promise money to people. They are willingly going out here and playing themselves. You got the brother from Brooklyn, the rapper in Brooklyn, right? Forget his name, man. Troy Ave. You got Troy Ave. And he will always be remembered as the brother who brought it to light that the whole idea of a street code, that's a whole myth. Right? And that street code, that's sort of where Capone and Noriega came from. Nori came straight from the street, where Troy Ave says, listen, there is no street code. Niggas in the street would turn on you real quick. Niggas in the street would snitch on your bitch ass. Y'all can be in the same gang and the same set. He'll snitch on your bitch ass. And you gonna go to jail because there is no code. There's all cover your own ass code going on. So of course of course Noriega, who comes from the street where there is no code, where streets is a myth, where your main man might stab you in the back if the money right. So Noriega's coming from that type of negative New York Queens energy back in those days. So of course, it's just not so much you can take out of the man. Certain things is not going to change. So if you come from a culture where the streets is really a myth, but you really want to act like you all about the streets and reporting what's going on in the streets, no, you're going to get caught in a real life moment where your friendship is a myth. Your brotherhood that you thought you had is going to be a myth, because you're going to be sitting right there stabbing your brother in the back just like niggas in the street do. And here you go with money and success, where you would imagine people would be a little bit freer. People would be a little bit, carefree and not as scared. No, they're still scared as hell, y'all. Still scared as hell. And And that's the bottom line. So, of course, there's no problem for Noriega to, in a sense, rat on his friend, to, in a sense, stab his friend Kanye in the back, to apologize for having Kanye on the show. That's no backbone. That's no hip hop. That's no that's some suckified. That's real sad. You might as well not have even brought him on. You might as well have listened to the original initial people that said don't bring him on. And we got Nori and Kanye's energy is a match. What do you mean by that, Kimberly Dixon? Their energy is a I don't know. Noriega's energy on that interview was more like he wasn't even really interviewing for real. And he's laughing a lot, giggling, reminding Kanye that they're cool together. But I don't know. Think about it. The industry. Yeah, part of me is actually amazed. I'm surprised, y'all, because I told you before, I lost respect for Kanye West. You know what I mean? Why? Because he apologized directly to George Bush after saying George Bush don't like black people during the Katrina thing when George Bush took his pretty little old ass time to get down to New Orleans. Kanye West was on TV during a fundraiser, throwing people off. Kanye West came on there. He was like, George Bush doesn't like black people, but that was commendable and that was interesting. But what did he do? Just like Noriega, he came and apologized. But he apologized for his own actions. When a brother is out here apologizing out of his association with someone else, that's scary. That's scary. It's one thing to apologize. My bad. I said George Bush doesn't like black people. I feel like I should take that back. That takes a lot to apologize, even in that situation. But damn, when you actually are made or when you feel compelled and forced to apologize because you associate with someone, that's horrible. What kind of man is that? You apologizing for having a friend and then gonna turn around and say, oh, but I like Kanye. I don't think we should, throw Kanye out with the bathwater. It's not Kanye that y'all gotta worry about. It's everybody else. It's the people who are controlled. You can't worry about Kanye West because, in a sense, he's not able to be controlled. You got so many other people who are very obedient, compliant. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. They not saying no. They will do exactly what they were told, and they would do what they are told before they are told it. They are controlled. It's like a battle between the controlled slaves and the slaves who are not about being controlled. So Noriega finds himself in Massa's house, right? This is where we're going. In Massa's house. We're already dealing with a media, right? That tends to manipulate your mind to the point where you think that an evil person is good and you think that somebody who is good, who is all right, who is actually, the media will have you thinking that that good person is bad or evil and that evil person is good. And where is Noriega? Noriega finds himself in the media. This is the significance of black males running certain aspects of the media, but you're not running it, right? You're just a face. You just a cover. You're not owning it. But you gotta own up. You gotta stand 10 toes down on what you do, man. You gotta stand on that, Noriega. Or else you end up, right, looking the way you look. Like a sellout as a black person. If that's, we understand you Dominican, whatever. a sellout as a black person, a sellout as a Dominican, a sellout as a man, and you're a sellout as a journalist. Because, yeah, journalism is all about not really having an opinion. But after the interview, you give your opinion. You say you apologize. You didn't mean to interview him like that. You didn't have no control. Kanye is out of control. It's going to be repeated, repeated. So now you got Noriega, part of that same media energy, painting Kanye as crazy, painting Kanye as uncontrollable, painting Kanye as being so horrible that you failed as a black man. This is sad, y'all. Y'all better watch it. Watch all the people that are like cheering this dude on, cheering Noriega on. Y'all better be careful. Be careful of your own friends. They'll stab you in the back for a bag in the second. Stab them in the back for a bag or for promises of future bags. If there's a threat that your bag might be taken away. This is Illmatic, y'all. Like I said, damn. This dude folded big time right before your eyes, and he felt so comfortable doing it. He felt so comfortable throwing Kanye under the crazy bus. Why? Because there's so many of y'all. There's so many listeners of Hot 97. So many listeners of Breakfast Club. The two places that Noriega ran to after this interview. He's got to please the masses of people. He's got to please the masses of people who have been brainwashed by the media. This is why it's such a weird circle. You have people brainwashed by the media, right? That's masses of people, black is especially, and you got a black man who sort of represents himself as a journalist or media doing the same thing, taking a black man's image and feeling ashamed for standing next to it. You taking this Kanye image and you're ashamed. That's deep. Both Nori and Kanye apologized to protect their money and to stay in good standing with the powers that be. Oh, I like that. Hey, yeah, oh, I see. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the thing, right? Because even when we think about people who wake up in the industry, right? There are several people that come to mind that wake up in the industry and they might ring the alarm and all that, right? But what happened first? A lot of them had already sold their soul. A lot of them had already sold their soul. Did Kanye sell his soul? Probably. Kanye apologized to George Bush. Kanye told us in one of his latest interviews that for a while he wasn't trying to support Donald Trump. He was against Trump for a while, right? He said, y'all can't control me anymore. When you use words like anymore, you're admitting that you buckled under pressure, that you kept your mouth shut, kept your eyes and ears closed just to be safe, just to get along and get along. You had to have done that a lot with the Kardashians. Now, the Kardashians are the object of his hatred now, the object of his anger. Many people are saying a lot of this is being done by the Kardashians. Some people are saying that Kardashians has TMZ in their payroll, in their back pocket. So of course Kardashians may have some connections in YouTube to get it taken down. Of course Kardashians may have all types of connections with Hot 97 and Breakfast Club. But I wanted to make this video today because Noriega described himself as having a relationship with Kanye. After this interview, he described it as, Kanye actually asking for his opinion and listening. So to some degree, Kanye trusted him a little bit. And even in the interview, there were different moments where Noriega would reassure Kanye, like, you my nigga, man, you my dog. We go way back. And we know that could be a way to lure you to make you more comfortable so you can say wilder shit, right? You my man, you comfortable. Take your shoes off, nigga. You can say whatever you want in my crib, and he's not even knowing that you're recording him, and you're gonna run and tell that, just in case, you know. So it's no different than being a snitch. It's like Noriega saying, "Oh man, I didn't mean to, commit that crime with you, dude. I didn't mean to. I regret committing that crime with you, yay. You influenced me, yay. So be careful, y'all, because the same thing might happen to your friends. You might have an idea or or a frame of reference or a thought, and hopefully you got the type of friends. Just so long as that thought in your head is not statutory rape or touching kids or abusing anybody and exploiting the elderly, as long as you're not doing something crazy, your friends should have your back, even if you're talking down on a couple of Jewish people here or there. But I'm pretty sure Kanye feels somewhat alone, but there's a whole group of people that are coming to Kanye's defense, not because they agree with Kanye, not because they love, you know what I mean? But they're coming to his defense because, listen, he has a right to say what he want to say, man. He's not breaking any laws. He's not inciting anybody to riot. He's not leading people to go, disrespect Jews over there. It's literally a situation where we don't like you. Not going to listen to you. We are going to ignore you. We are not going to challenge you. We are not going to ask you any real questions. We'll let you talk for a second, but you will be shut down. And that's just unfortunate. It is what it is. Again, it's mind over matter, y'all. It's the bottom line. So we about to get up out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for stopping through, dropping some comments right here, because this is some other level stuff. This is some Holly weird business. And a disgruntled member of Holly Weird in the entertainment industry, disgruntled billionaire, a man with a lot of money and certain power to pull strings, I guess, maybe. He is the one seeming like the rebel. The one with so much to lose is seeming like the rebel now. And he says it's up. And when it's up and it's stuck, it's going to stay up. He feels like his life is on the line. That's more of a reason, if you're a friend especially, to protect, to at least defend his right. Say what he got to say. And don't get into, if anything, Noriega could have said, well, I don't agree with some of your things, but what I do is I respect and honor and defend your right to speak for yourself, brother. But listen, when y'all give certain house Negroes power, they might try to take that power and do certain things with it. But then again, boom, they're brought back to reality. And Noriega found out very quickly that not only does he lack the power to control a Kanye interview, he lacks the power to stand on 10 toes down on his interviews. He lacks that power. In that sense, he must be obedient. He must comply. You know what I mean? He must go along if he's trying to get along. Not everybody is built with that stuff that Kanye's built with. You don't gotta be a fan. He's fearless. And you happen to be in a culture where, especially the last 2 years, or even further when they were afraid of Donald Trump, fear is all that's the greatest pandemic ever. Fear, y'all. And that's why Kanye is in his spot where he is. Because people fear his level of, I'll say what I want. People are afraid of that. It's, people are trying to push the culture into sort of a transhumanism level. You got people, powers that be, trying to guide the culture into a transhumanism to make the human more of a robot, to make the human more of a mindless little bag of flesh that just follows directions like a computer and not have your own independent thought because like you said, that's dangerous, isn't it? This is your boy Marwan. I'm gonna get up out of here. Again, this doesn't even have to be about, oh, I love what he said, every single word. It's not even about any of that. We're adults. We can say, hey, that was dumb, that was stupid, but for the most part, you on point, shorty, you know? We know we should be adults about it. But like I said, you have black folks running, volunteering, offering themselves and their mouths and their platform as members of the lynch mob, their lynch mob. Because he didn't do anything to black people. He didn't do anything to white people. He didn't do anything to really anybody except for his personal, right? His relationships in the industry where he may have screwed people over, mistreated a couple people here or there, whatever. It's very interesting, y'all, but I would just challenge you to think of different moments in your life where you made a decision and everybody was against it. Maybe you didn't get the jab where everybody got the jab. Maybe you were from day one defending your right not to be punctured by a needle of jabs. And those people were ostracized. Doctors who were asking for more information, more surveys, more data, more research, questioning things. Doctors had their licenses taken. If Kanye had any license, except for, driver's license, they're not going to take that, but they would have taken some of his other licenses too. So shout out to y'all, man. I wonder how you're taking all this, because whatever's happening to him as a black male billionaire can easily happen to black male. Ain't got nothing in there. You know what I mean? Very easy. So you want to be able to know who your real solid allies are. You got people, and I'm pretty sure, Kanye might help people here or there, but they ain't going to help him the other way. So, yes, I look at Kanye West and all of that in terms of maybe Kanye was a house nigga at some point, but then he chose to leave the house. He chose to leave the house in that interesting situation. Kanye choosing to leave the house altogether and all the comforts and the benefits of being in the masses house, where you pretty much, operate and you speak in ways where the massa is comfortable. But the massa's not as comfortable with field niggas. And if you got yourself a field nigga or someone who is in line with field niggas, and they got money on top of that, the most money in any other black man is, he's dangerous. He can't be controlled. And maybe what's more scary, more dangerous, are the masses of people who can and will be controlled. God damn. Control.